Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Mandeep Sani again with a very good new podcast with Oluwafemi Adegbola. He is one of my dear friend who has been in UK since a while. Fami, his short name, Fami is been working with the telecom and the travel industry since a long time in Africa, but now he moved to UK as a student for master degree program. Now, Femi is still consulting firms in Africa in travel industry, and this podcast is going to be a very good podcast because Femi's journey from Africa to UK has been really nice and pleasant, and at the same time is challenging as well. So Femi is going to share some very nice or good stories with us, and also Femi is going to give us the tips to survive in the UK, and we are going to talk about a lot of things about the family's life in the UK, back home, and at the same time what is the ground reality in the UK so far. So hello Femi, how are you today?
I'm very well. Good afternoon, Dr. Mandeep. Thank you always for opportunities like this to bring us up to platform like this. I really appreciate.
Thank you very much, Fami. I really appreciate your help in this type of initiative while helping students and all that. I know you have always been there whenever I ask you for this type of help. And so I'm really grateful that you are joining me today and our audience to share your experience with them. Thank you very much, Fami.
It's
Fami,
always a pleasure.
please start with your own introduction. I know I have given a short introduction, but please start with your own introduction.
Anyways, you said it all, and my name is Oluwafemi Adegbola. I am a Nigerian from the southwestern part of the country, and I just finished my program in the UK, my master's in procurement, logistics, and supply chain at the University of Salford. Gratefully, I came out with the distinction, and proud to coming to the UK. I've always worked in the telecoms. I do a bit of travels. I consult for the travel industry as well, and basically that's just me before coming to the UK.
Okay, that's good. So, Femi, tell us about how did you decided to go to UK? What was that trigger that you thought about? Okay, let's go to UK while you was working in telecom industry or the travel industry there.
Uh, well, thank you again. First, I left school, that is my undergrad. I finished my undergraduate about 16 years ago, and my mom said I should go for my master's, and I said no. Why should I just go for master's? I just finished my undergraduate, and I've not even utilized those experiences, the knowledge gathered. I've not explored life. I've not explored my potential. I just said I'm not interested. Not now, not in the nearest future. And that was the basic confession around not wanting to, proceed for my master's. And, fast forward to 2022. And, as we progress in our career, we need to, upskill ourselves, develop ourselves. Yes, we have garnered experiences, all manner of experiences, management, and all of those. But, there's always the more factor. You deserving of more benefits, more prospect, progress, and all of that. And here we were in 2022, and I just said to myself, guy, you just need to move forward. And the only way you need to move forward is to add another degree, not a professional certification as it were now, but you just need to add a degree to what you have currently. And we were presented with two location, the UK and the so-called Canada, right? And it's not just you want to go for masters. For me, I want to do a master's that aligns with my profession, my experiences, and also it will be of what is going to be of interest to me. It's not just coming here and I'll be in school and I'll be useless to the society. I'll be useless to even myself. And that was it for me. So I had to, drill down, take those decisions, plan very well. And it's not just about me right now. I came into the UK with my family. So the thing was family, the choice of location, that is where, and the program that I would like to do. And like I said, it has to align with my experience and my interest. And for the family, looking at the weather, you need to consider weather.
Yeah.
And exactly, we consider the weather. For me, I'm a fair weather person. I don't mind any location. It's just for me to achieve my target, irrespective of whether the weather is fair, is harsh, or whatever. I can manage myself. But also, I needed to consider my family as well. So we had to come to an agreement, and the choice of coming to the UK came to bear because of the weather. And also another thing was my wife's business. Because of the time difference as well, we had to consider that factor. UK time zone is relative to that of Nigeria. Is still fair to that of Nigeria. No much time different, the same time zone and all of that compared to Canada. So that was what prompted our choice, and these are the answers to the questions that landed us in the UK as an individual and as a family. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. So you did your research before you came to UK. So a research in terms of the course, which is aligning with your profession, also whether your family and what time difference is between the Canada and the UK. Did you
Yes.
consider any other country as well, like America or Australia or anything else?
Yeah, and no, we never consider that. We never consider other country. It was basically Canada and UK. And for us, I one of the things I did was to do a lot of research. In fact, there was a time I had to reach out to the head of business school back then in Salford University, just to get intricacies and understanding and support into what I'm coming for, just to gain an insight, to have an overview and understanding, so that I don't just come here and I'm just here, and at the end of the day I won't be able to achieve what by the grace of God I've been able to achieve, because that is very important. No man is an island of his own self. You need to reach out, you need to engage, you need to have understanding, and you need to seek support, which is what I did in my own case. So US or other country were not in the picture. It was basically Canada and the UK. And I ensure that in making the right choices, it aligns with my experience, it aligns with my interests, and my family is well taken care of in that decision. Thank you.
So when you made that decision that you are going to study in the UK, and you started applying to the UK universities, did you apply through an agent or did you apply to the university directly? What happened that time?
Okay, at that time, like we all said, it's always good to have proper plan in place. Having a proper plan would guide you through every process. That's number one. Asking questions would help your plan, will help you to activate your plan. So, for instance, in my own case, I used an agent. And using an agent, the application process to gain admission into universities in the UK is straightforward, funny enough. But there are costs to some of these things. Using an agent saves you a lot of costs. You need to be mindful of that because number one, you need to be able to prove that you can survive in the UK in terms of cost of living, paying your fees, paying your bills, and all of those. And using an agent, kind of give some level of waiver. Not that you will not prove that, but at the point of processing that your application, I am a businessman. If I have, for instance, I need to prove a fund of about £10,000, and I need to prove that fund now, and also I need to do a business worth £10,000. If I have an agent and the school will not request for a proof of funds at that point, I would rather go for my business, right?
Mm. Mm.
And using an agent will help eliminate that, that part of application or whatever, or process. And, the process continues seamlessly. So for us, we used an agent. I used an agent, and, I was able to get that waiver of proving the cost of living, proving my stay in all the expenses required for me to live in the UK. So having said that, it became seamless, and the process went smoothly for me.
Okay, so how did you came across with that agent? Did you do some research or ask people? Is a word of mouth, or what happened there?
Yeah, of course, I made some research, and I've always have a kind of some form of relationship with before even thinking of coming to the UK. I have met a couple of individuals, around me, and who have shared what they do, the kind of things they do with me, and which is in relations to, processing study abroad, uh, processing studied abroad for prospective students. So it was it was an easy peasy for me to jump on and ride on that. Yes, I didn't really use the people I know because they did not have relationship with some of these schools in the UK, but it was a soft landing for me to ride on to make my research, to get the right agent, to be able to, process my admission into the school in the UK.
Yeah, because there are so many dodgy agents as well, who charge a lot of money. What happened?
You're right.
Yeah,
You're very correct.
yeah. What happened in your case? Did your agent charged any fees from you?
Thank you for that question. It is always very important for us to, for people to make research and ask questions. And this information is out there. In fact, the schools, they have accredited agent. They always mention it in their on their website. If you're not sure, you can easily send them an email, make inquiry. They will give you this information. So using an agent, you don't need to pay an agent.
Yeah,
You don't need to pay an agent.
yeah,
Don't waste your money. It is I must confess, and I must say to all of us that it is important to seek support, to seek guidance, and to ask questions, and make
yeah,
sure that those questions are well answered without doubt.
yeah,
Without
yeah.
doubt. Thank you.
So, in my understanding, if the agent is asking for fees, they are dodgy agents who do dodgy work for you, and fake paperwork and all that.
Okay.
Please don't go there at all. The university agent, they never ask you for a single penny. They process your application for free because they are getting paid from the university. They get commission out of it. So
You are very correct, sir. You
yeah,
are very correct.
yeah. So there are many people, many students who don't know about all these processes.
Hmm.
They end up paying a lot of money to those agents, and sometimes they don't even get the visa, or they don't even get the admission in the university as well. Okay, so you're going through with the agent, and they processed your application. How long does it take for the whole process, from applying till getting the visa?
Okay, let me just I would try and I still remember the process and, take us through my journey. Okay. As a person, in things like this, I don't just leave it to people's hand.
Okay.
Yes, I have given you the liberty to do stuff for me. Get me an admission into this university. That's one thing. You don't just go back and sleep that an agent will do it for you. Even though it's an accredited agent, but you never can tell. Maybe it's the owner of the agency that is the professional, and he will just delegate to somebody else within his organization, and the person will now mess you up. That's one thing you need to understand. So for me, I didn't go to bed. I I I I requested that an agent do this for me, process an admission for me. I did that way before my university opened up their portal for application. So I was on point, monitoring, checking when the application portal would be open or was open as of that time. So immediately the application portal was open, almost like was like a difference of about 1 to 1.5 hours that the agent emailed me that, oh, he's putting in my application now. And I said to him, oh, I have seen that they've opened the portal too. I was almost, reaching out to you as well. So it is one thing not to go to bed. You need to follow up with your agent. So having said that, we put in our application, and for me, you need to be on time. I need to, sorry, I may be mentioning some of the key factors. These are key factors that really helped that aided my coming to the UK, and helped to fast track some of the processes. So, being on time helped to pin my application in good time, and within 1 week or thereabout, I was able to get a response from the University of Salford, and it came with a provisional offer of admission. Before it starts with provisional offer, then they ask you to make payment and all of that. So immediately I got my provisional offer. Within 10 days from there, that was in August, I put in my application, I think on the 26th of August 2022, and I got my offer. I think it was on the 3rd of September. I got my offer, and by 15th of September, I already paid my fees. So yeah, there are intricacies to paying school fees, right? The school will give you details of how much you are expected to pay per time. That's by the way, you can always see those details in your provisional offer, how much is expected of you to pay, whether full tuition or discounted fee and all of that. So for me, I was on point, and I've already researched, made findings, connected with some old students who were 2021 students, 2021 intakes and all of those. I've reached out to them, and they've given me a lot of information. One of the information was that once they open application, apply. Once they give you your offer, make sure you quickly pay your school fees so that they don't defer or move you to another intake. Because when they reach the maximum threshold of people they are supposed to, the number required for a particular intake, they move the rest of the students to the next intake. And I never want that. I did not want that. So when I saw my provisional offer, I processed my payment immediately, and within 10 days or there, about 15th of September precisely, because that date is in my head, I got acknowledgement from the school that they've seen my funds, my payment, and all of that. So after payment, I was waiting for cars. I had a bit of delay because I thought the school was supposed to send the CAS that's confirmation of acceptance of studies. That's what CAS means. So I thought the school would send. I waited for a day. I didn't hear anything from the school. I sent an email. They said they are processing it, that they will reach out to me. By the time the school was reaching out, they sent some forms that I did not understand.
Oh.
This is the part where an agent is very important to you, where you will need an agent. When they sent that thing, I made contact to my people here on ground in the UK. I reached out to them. See, this is what I found. This is the situation of things. And they said, oh, hope you use that agent. Send it to your agent. Your agent will sort you out. Oh, easy peasy. I just forwarded it to my agent. He reached out to him. Oh, okay. I've been expecting. He now said to me that he's been expecting. Thought they were going to send it to him personally. That I should not worry. He's going to, fill the form and all of that. And it was at that point, after payment, that the school usually requests for proof of funds to be sure that you can survive in the UK.
Yeah.
Let's take note of that. It's at that point, once you pay your school fees, before they send you the cars, they will ask that you provide your proof of funds, that is statement in your bank account, so that they can check and be sure that you won't be a nuisance in the UK. So using an agent again helped to save time, because that could have delayed me for about another 1 month, because it requires a 28 days window.
Yes, yeah. So you didn't know about that before, when you was doing the whole process. You didn't know that you have to keep the fund for 28 days, or did you know about it?
Okay, I know that because that's one of the reasons. I think I mentioned that prior to this very question. That was one of the reasons of using an agent for me. And I know that as a businessman, I don't tie my money down to something for 20 days is a long time to tie such an amount of money down. So I already, that's why it is very important for us to, let's just reach out to people. There's nothing hidden in this process. It's a straightforward process. Ask questions, seek support and guidance. They will help you through.
When did you get your visa finally?
Okay, my visa. So when I got my cars, time is very important. I was already the 28 days window is also required for visa processing. For me, it was already counting as well.
Okay.
So that's why it is very important. You need to understand each stage, what is required per stage, so that where you need to save time, you will save time. Where you need to maximize resources as well, you will maximize resources. So in the call, once immediately I got the cars already, the proof of funds of course was already there, counting the 21, ticking the 21 days window. And we got the cars 7th of October. I got the cars. And on the 11th of October, I put in my visa. Now, let's have a break here. So, 7th of October, I got cars. 11th of October, 2022, I put in my visa application. So, in all of these things, coming to the UK or relocation, there are so many groups out there on Telegrams, on WhatsApp, and all of those platforms. So there is a particular group, visa group, that they explain the process, they explain all of those things, the intricacies and all of that. I was following. I don't communicate in that group. I don't contribute in that group. I just listen, I read, I dissect, I assimilate all those information. And I was checking through. The September rush was there, the September intake, and they had a lot of issues. And we are now in October. So what it means to me is that they must have sorted September students. There shouldn't be any form of delay or whatsoever. So I was following, and around that October, before 11th, I was just seeing a lot of visa is dropping. I put in my application. like 3 days ago. I got it in 5 days. I put in my application so days ago, and I got it in within 3 days. And somebody now asked, did you pay for priority? The person said, no. I just told my family, we need to put in this application now. That was what prompted us to put in our application, and we got our visa approved within 3 days. Not priority. Not priority.
Yeah.
Not priority.
They are just charging premium price for priority, but normally it takes the same time. That's what people doesn't know. There are many cases people are getting visa within 3 days. If you even pay for the priority service, and it says that you will get it within 5 to 7 days, but if there is any delay and the visa delayed for, like, let's suppose 30 days, you can't do anything. You can't claim that money back.
You can't do anything. You can't. I actually know somebody that paid for priority for herself and did the normal processing for a family. A visa came out within 7 days. A family visa came out on the 8th day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened. When people are coming to countries like UK, every penny matters that time.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And you can save that money instead of paying to the priority. They normally takes the similar time. It's just the priority service that somebody, you don't have to queue up for a long time. That's the only priority. They might have a separate queue. When you go to the submitting the application. That's it, nothing much. So you got the visa. So what was the expression of the family now? Because once you got the visa, that is confirmed that now you are going to UK, you are moving to a new country, starting everything from beginning. So what was family's expression?
For us, it was money not wasted, resources not wasted. Yes, it is. We got admission. It's not enough to have admission. It's one thing to get your visa approved. And we thank God for the whole process. It was for us good planning. It's not pride. It was for me good planning and strategies in place, because we reached out to a lot of people. We told our story out. We told people our story. This is our plan. This is what we want to do. And a lot of people supported us in terms of advice, they supported us. They answered some of our worries and questions. And then for the family, they were happy that, we are moving, and it's for the betterment of the family, as it were. And that's it for us. Everywhere, of course, they are happy. They know that it's going to be a better environment. And it's going to be a good one for us as individuals and the family as well.
So before you moved to UK and you were planning at that time, which is good thing, and you told us about that you were planning from day one how the process will be. That process could be very stressful if you don't plan it well. But even after a good planning, and you are following up the agent, and you are following up the university and all the people involved in that process, was it stressful for you at that time, like arranging paperwork and funds and all these?
Honestly, it was not stressful, because I took that decision. And when I take a decision, I try to derive happiness in whatever decision I am taking. So it was for me a project. I took it as a project, and there are milestone achievements that must be attained.
And a good project need planning. Planning.
Yes, and I think that really helped us. In fact, just to add to the visa, before coming to the UK, after the visa, we started checking for flights. And my intake was March 2023, and we were talking about visa came out 15th of October 2022. Immediately we started checking for flight because we understood how much. We were also in a group for flights. We understood how much people were paying to get flight ticket. People of the same family size as mine. I mean, my family size is 3. We saw people paying as high as £2,800 to £3,500.
Wow.
It will shock you that the cost of our flight was about £800.
Yeah. And that time, because the flights are really booked, so many students are coming to UK at that
Yes,
time.
there was really big deal of traffic at that time.
Yeah.
And we got our ticket at about 3rd of December.
Yeah.
You have to.
So even though you had a very good planning for the whole process, it is a stressful process.
Yes, sir.
You need a lot of documentation, and you need to follow up a lot of people as well. But at the same time, when you actually get the visa and when you actually get that, okay, I am going now, this process is complete now. That feeling is a good feeling.
Yes.
But as per my understanding, it's not the final celebration. The actual struggle start from there. So you took the flight, you came to UK. When you land in any airport, which airport did you land to? Manchester?
Manchester Airport.
Manchester. So what was your feeling when you landed Manchester?
Oh, it was wow. Honestly, I I just felt some form of happiness. Dream come true. I said I was coming for this, and it's just happening right before my face. There was no other feeling than a feeling of happiness, honestly. Because I know a lot of people, in fact, some other people, they had so many challenges during the processing. Is it that they were not granted admission, or they were denied visa for no reason that no one could understand? But it was exceptional for me. Forget that, yeah, plans were in place. I could also have been those people that were denied, but I felt some form of happiness within. Honestly, there was no other feeling than happiness. There was no other feeling than happiness for me.
Okay. So when you arrived in UK, that time was your course already started?
Okay. I came in on the 14th of February. My course start date was 6th of March. So I came in like 3 weeks or thereabout, almost like a month before my course start date.
So you had a bit of time to understand what is going on in the UK.
Yes.
So how did you arrange for accommodation? So you came with the family. How did you arrange for accommodation? Did you arrange it from Nigeria, or did you came here and then arrange the accommodation?
So for accommodation, I got accommodation from Nigeria. It's part of the plan, and because we know how the situation here in the UK is, for people, all man for himself in the UK, irrespective of who the person is to you. I just believe I should not come to you just like that and give you some form of difficulty. I don't want to inconvenience anyone. Yeah, I have a lot of friends in the UK, a lot of families, very, very close families. In fact, I know somebody, my aunt already cleared off a room for us, only for me to tell her that, oh, I've got him accommodation.
That was easy for you because you had the
It
family.
wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It was that part was. I think
Even
that
though
part was the most difficult.
even though you had families and friends here.
Yes, the plan was to get our accommodation before coming. So, yeah, it's not about where to stay now. That is the problem. The challenge was getting the accommodation before coming. And I'm sure you are aware of the challenges around getting an accommodation for students in the UK. So it's not about where we put our head when we come into the UK. We can always, move around, stay with friends or families around, but we just said that we must get our accommodation before coming, because we have seen what people go through in getting accommodation while on ground. And remember that we had so much time to ourselves after the whole visa process and all of that. We still had so much time, about 3 or 4 months, to plan, to walk around, to look for accommodation. So we just maximized that opportunity, do what we needed to do to get our own accommodation before coming. But however,
yes, go on, please.
However, our accommodation we got accommodation fine, but the accommodation was not ready when we got into the UK.
So how did you find the accommodation? Did you ask any agent or did you ask any family, friends here?
So for the accommodation, we asked, like we asked questions. We sought for guidance from our people here in the UK. How do you guys get accommodation? Which website can one go to get to look for, to research on accommodation? And they gave us some links. Right to Move is there. I think Spare Room as well is there. So these are places where we looked out for accommodation. And of course, in asking questions, we discovered that we will need a reference, a reference, or like a guarantor that works in the UK, or sort of. And during that period, we were able to look for get a guarantor, for references sake, and to be able to secure our accommodation.
Okay, so you find it through the website?
Yes, in particular, Right to Move. We used Right to Move.
Okay. Did you pay for the accommodation while you was there? Any deposit or anything?
Yeah, we paid for the accommodation from Nigeria. We paid our accommodation. We paid from Nigeria because that's the way. Immediately the family said they like the apartment. We just said there's no point delay. We don't want to hear some other form of stories by the time we are getting into the UK, or something has happened because we didn't pay or something. We just immediately, everybody likes it in the family. We just say, okay, can we pay? In fact, before the contract or before the referencing process, we paid. We paid because we know the challenges around getting accommodation.
Okay, so was there anybody who checked the accommodation from UK, like anybody in your family and friends? They go there and check, or did you just book the accommodation without considering any maybe fraud or anything?
Okay, fortunately for us, the only check we did, nobody came to check or inspect the apartment. Nobody. It's a furnished apartment and is as what was displayed on the website when we came in here. So having said that, fortunately what helped us was that immediately when we were discussing and about to finalize with the agent, I reached out on one of the platforms and I just dropped it there. Oh, please, this agent, do you trust them? And a lady came up. She finished in January, and she said, "Oh, I got my apartment from them." That was it for me.
Oh, okay.
I just moved on.
Okay.
So yeah, I asked questions.
Rightmove is a well-reputed website in the UK, and all the agents who are putting their adverts on it, all the homes for rent or sale, they are good companies. So most of them, but sometimes people get entrapped through WhatsApp messages or Facebook messages that accommodation available, and they pay the deposit, which is a lot of fraud going on in those things.
Honestly.
So, need to be careful. So always better to confirm with somebody if they know the company or not, or do some research. Everything is online now, it's available.
You are very correct, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So what, you got the accommodation, you started going to university now after like 3 weeks. So before that, you got kids with you, and you need to you need to register them in a school as well. How was that process?
Ah, now we coming to the UK came with its own challenge, right? And these challenges, or especially the challenge of getting a school for my son, it came so bearing and blaring to the face.
Hmm. Okay.
And for like 2 months, we were unable to get him a school, and it actually delayed us to move, and we just had to plan our movement because we had to just stay with him at home, either stay with him at home or he goes out with us. So it was a bit of challenge because he is 6 years. He was 5 years old when we came in, and some schools only have one intake for that age group, and we had to wait. Some told us that we had to wait for like until September before it can be admitted into school, and that was a bit of serious challenge for us. And we just had to be resilient and resolute about getting him a school. I think that was the major challenge we had. We moved around, reached out to the and let me just break down some of this process so that our viewers can understand how it is getting a school. At least this is a challenge that I can pinpoint on. So you're getting a school. Yeah, you can reach out to the school of choice, but at the same time, you need to reach out to the council, to your council, so that you can fill up a form and list out the school of choice or choices you've made. And there and then, I think they do their own check too to see if they have space in in those schools that can accommodate additional head count. So it
Yeah.
is very important to reach out to. It's not about you just picking a school that this is a school. No, 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 no. There is more to that. You need to reach out to the council. The council would, do what they need to do to get you a school. It may take time, but at the same time, reaching out is not just reaching out to the school. It may, because it will take time in some cases. You also try and reach out to some schools on your own. When you are able to see a school that can, enroll your ward or your child, you can now reach out to the council that, oh, you have seen a school that is ready to accommodate. It's just about information sharing and getting the council, the regulatory body to understand and to know the position of things so that you don't get caught in between.
Yeah. So in UK, most of the schools are under council. Council is the local authority which is responsible for the area. And there are many councils in Manchester and around Manchester. For example, one is Salford, one is Manchester, one is Swinton, and some others. So whenever you come into UK with the kids, you have to go online and register. Once you have accommodation, after that, go online and register to the council. There's an online application. Notify them that you got a kid. You fill all the information, and they will on the application, based on the area you are living, they
Yeah.
will give you a choice of some schools, and you can just pick and choose which one you want to go. But for that, you might need to do some research based on which school is good, which is outstanding, which is excellent, and then you can pick and choose. So much better the school performance is, much lower the chances, but you have to make sure that you tick that first, because everybody wants their child to go to a good school,
Yes. Yes.
and outstanding school. So and then council will contact those schools. You can also follow up the schools as well, but it will go through council only. So application will go through council, and then you will get notified whenever the place is available for your child. So it's a very good, a simple process, but sometimes, as Fami said, it could be challenging unless you have planned it well. You know how to find the information, and you know how to get things done on the council's side.
Mm.
So, Femi, okay, the kid is now going to school. I believe the kid will be really happy there. Now,
Yeah.
so tell us about the challenges, some of the challenges you faced when you started studying here. What were the challenges, initial stage challenges when you came to UK after 3 4 weeks, your study started? How it is different from studies in Nigeria, and you had a big gap of like 13 14 years, 16 years you had, yeah,
Mm.
gap as well, and now you are back into the classroom. So how challenging was that?
It was really, really challenging, I must say. And it wasn't just me, because I spoke with quite a number of people on that very first day, 6th of March, our first lecture. Most of us were just looking at the lecturer. We were just looking lost in confusion. And the thought of the question kept popping up in my mind. Hope you have not made a wrong decision.
Hmm.
It kept coming.
In the first lecture, that was the time you thought that you made a wrong decision.
Yes, first lecture.
Okay.
It kept so very alarming. And the thing for me, it was number one, the accent and the flow of the lecture.
Hmm.
And like you said, me just coming after about 16 years, it was something else for me. And I persevered and listen to the lecture. Just listen. Just there. I was just there. That day, if I tell you I understood what happened in the lecture, not after in the lecture, I did not understand anything. It was a reflection on my own, readings on my own that helped me progress in that lecture. So that was one of the challenges. And I think it's coming from the cultural shock, accent wise. It's coming from the cultural shock, a new environment, and the fear of the unknown. I think we need to fear that we need to be open minded. It is very, very important to be open minded and not deviate from our main goal, our goal of studying in the UK, coming for studies. It's very important, and this shows our resiliency. For me, I was just after the lecture, and during the lecture, we were presented with our assessment. This is your assessment, and unfortunately for us, in my own school, University of Salford, our first assessment was a group assessment. Another challenge. And be faced with accent issue, lecture issue, and here come bearing assessment issues. And oh my goodness,
Hmm.
it was a tough one for me. It was a tough one for me.
Yeah, I think it's a bit tough for everyone in the beginning, especially the students coming from other countries, because the study structure in other countries is different, and study structure in this country is totally different.
Mm.
Like you said, assessments and the other things, how to write assignments, lecture, accent as well. There are so many things, but there is a lot of help available as well in the university.
Of
Uh,
course, of course.
so, did you made any friends in the university?
Ah, that is very, very important for one's sanity,
Hmm.
for you to overcome all the mental challenges that would come bearing at you. You need your peers.
Hmm.
It was a good one for me. I had this lady friend, and it was the very first day we got to school that we met during our registration. Now was when we met, and we just got talking, and that was it for me. I
Hmm.
think that gave me some level of comfort and helped me to understand that you are not the only one in this situation. And with that, I was able to break other ices. I started, socializing. I started relating with other peers, and in my own little way, I started reaching out to lecturers and contributing even in lectures as well.
So, what tips do you have for the students who are planning to come to UK? How can they overcome this type of challenge? What you have faced in the beginning of their studies? What tips can you give?
I think before coming, you need to plan well.
Okay,
Plan
and
well.
for the studies for the university.
Yeah, you need to be sure of what you're coming from for the program you want to come for. Is this something that interests you? Is this something that you can actually do? Because those were the questions I answered, and it really helped me. I can for sure tell our viewers today that at least two of our modules also, I was able to navigate through based on my work experience, and I came out strong in those models. And another thing I would mention is that it's very important for us to socialize and relate with people, your peers in classroom. You need to reach out to them, engage with them, ask questions, and not just your peers, lecturers, engage with them, ask questions. And funny enough, there's never a wrong or right answer. At times in some situations, that is why we have the lecturers. They are professionals to guide us through. So whatever it is, ask the question. I mean, there's no wrong or right question, or as it were, ask those questions, seek guidance, do your own research, and you just see yourself at the top. It is very helpful. And another thing, it is not just coming to the UK now. It is coming to achieve something. It is coming to add value so that you can be a value creator. Let's get that. It is not just coming, it is coming to add value to ourselves and so that we can be of value to the world out there. And coming back to the four walls of the classroom, I would say that our classes are very important to attend. It is very important that you attend your lectures. It is very important that you take time seriously. Be punctual. It is very, very important because if you're not punctual, you tend to lose out in so many ways. In so many ways. I've had encounters with some lecturers that it was because I was on time, I was able to get some insight into some things. I was able to have that, quick chat with them, and I got answers to some pressing issues. It really helped. And these are some information that some other peers would not, benefit from because you are on time. Thank you.
Now you mentioned so um, you completed your degree program.
Yeah.
It's been almost a year. You studied there. You learned a lot of things. You socialized and everything. What is next now? Now, are you planning to do a job, or are you already working? And what is your understanding about the job market in the UK?
Yeah. Honestly, okay, let me take it from my own perspective and what I'm currently doing. Right now, I'm not working in the UK. And uh, for me, I just wanted to focus on my studies. And now before I finished my dissertation, I'd already started putting in my applications and for roles, and I've been getting some interviews, and hopefully I hope very soon I'll be able to get a role in one of the organizations here in the UK. However, I still do my thing. I still consult as a business development personnel for the travel industry, a travel company back in Nigeria. So aside that, the honest truth, there's no job market in the world today that is not saturated. Honest truth. We just need to tell ourselves the truth. And I want to speak directly to our viewers out there. You are not just coming to the UK to pick a job. You will fight for it.
Yeah.
The honest truth.
Yeah.
But that should not be a limiting factor of you coming into the UK. That should not limit you. People are getting a lot of, unfortunately, and people also are getting a lot of jobs. And in that economy, people are changing jobs as well.
Yeah.
So let's understand that, viewers, the job market is saturated, is a underlying factor. We know that, but it should not limit our plans or our coming to the UK. Let's understand that the jobs are out there, truthfully, but yes, it's saturated, but we can still get our own.
Yeah. So not doing any job that is part of your plan so far, but in your friend circle or the other people, other student came with you, uh, what do you know about them? Do they all got part-time jobs or jobs in the UK, or there are some people
Oh,
who haven't got it?
quite a number. Almost, I think what for me is because of my decision.
Yeah.
Right, a lot of they are doing one thing or the other, either in warehousing, in customer care, even in procurement, even in project management. Yeah, aside the regular care work and support work that you see around, people are working. A lot of my peers or colleagues that we were in the same intake, they are working. Quite a good number. Without exaggerating, I think about 85% to at least 85%. Let me
Yeah.
know. Let me not say I know them all. 85%, and 85% is a good number.
Yeah, it's very good number. It's very good, because the reason why I ask you this question, because some of the people putting videos on YouTube and saying there is no job market, no jobs in the UK, people are like sleeping hungry and all that. So they're putting all these rubbish things on the YouTube videos. So the reason why I'm asking this question to everyone, so they can have the truth. Yeah, if you, like you said, don't limit yourself with the job. You are here to learn things as well. Because until unless you learn about the country, until unless you learn about the culture and all these things, what is going on around you, you won't be, or you might not be able to survive in the job as well. So
Yes.
the problem is people are just focused. So just focus is not good. Just focus on the job is not good. You need to divide your focus between the job, your family life, your own life, studies, and many other area that you can do some activities. You can do some, even if you are coming to UK for a beautiful life, why not live it? You know,
Hmm.
understand that there are a lot of expenses. Some people might need to pay the fees as well. Some people, they are earning because they need to pay the rent and the utility charges and all these things, which is understandable. But at least take some time out for yourself, for your family. So the complete focus should not be the job. Don't limit yourself, as Fami said, which will be, I mean, that will add value to yourself, and that will add value to your CV as well for a longer term.
Yes,
So
sir.
Fami, I think we are coming to the end of this podcast. What is your final tips for the people who want to come to UK? And those tips, very quick one in bullet points, if you can give them, please.
Uh, wow, it's a good engagement in almost 1 hour thereabout now, and I must say thank you. I will leave this with us, right? Especially to our viewers. Um, Plan well before coming and while in the UK.
Hmm. Yeah.
Avoid, be mindful of frivolities. Yes, you may have the funds, the money is coming in. Also, be mindful of frivolities.
Hmm.
Check up, do your medical checkup. You need to be sound in your mind and in your body. And I would also say that you need to engage and network. It is very important. This would enhance your cross-cultural relationship, because it is not just you in this country. There are other people also in this country, and you need them as well. You need them as well to survive.
Yeah. As well as they need you to
Of course.
survive. So
Of
it's
course.
all about socializing, because we are all are in the same train, or in the same boat, whatever you like. If you don't have boats in your country, let's let's go over train. So we are all in the same boat, and we all had those type of struggles. Now, Femi mentioned about mind, uh, because we are running out of a little bit time. Otherwise, this podcast is going to be very long. But I'm going to invite Femi again for another podcast later on, and we will talk about some things related with the mindset and things related with the mental health in the UK. And I'm sure Femi have witnessed there's the mental health issues and anxiety and other things happening with the students and people around you. So that is a very common thing all around the world, not just in the UK. So how can we prepare about it? And let's see what Femi can share on that. I'm sure Femi knows about all these things. So we will share so many things on that podcast.
I will be more than happy to come back, sir, at your call.
Yeah. So, Femi, thank you very much for joining us today. I believe our audience will definitely get a lot of ideas. And when I was doing podcast, even I did one yesterday. We recorded one. These similar themes are coming up again and again, telling people that plan well, do research, make sure you are not just focused on jobs, you focus on other things as well, like study. So I think that is the beauty of our podcast, that we are coming up with the proper research, full ideas, proper resources, the real ground reality in the UK for the people who really want to come. And I believe that is why people from all around the world is liking our channel. The current reach is reaching many countries, like I was telling you earlier. It's not just India, it's Africa, even in Canada, Yemen, Bangladesh, Vietnam, and so many other countries, Pakistan, and so many other countries. So that is why we decided to do podcast in English as well, but all the podcasts have subtitles available in your native language, where you can just go and click on the settings and click on subtitles auto generated. Any subtitles in your native language will be there. Also, please don't forget to subscribe and like our videos. Don't forget to subscribe the channel. There are some shorts as well through the podcast. When we are doing podcast, we are creating some shorts clips, so you can, if you can't watch the whole podcast, you can just watch the short clips and share it with the other people as well. Please make sure, if you like this podcast, leave comments for us, motivate us with your comments. And if you have any questions related to this podcast, please feel free to ask the questions. People, like Femi and the other people on this podcast, they are more than happy to answer your questions, more than happy to support you. We have a whole big team of students who can help you answering the question. And of course, I will be, or my team will be helping you with this question as well. If you want us to ask those questions to our podcast guests, feel free to do so as well. But please make sure you do comment on this video. Guys, thank you very much. I will come back with another podcast with the other guests, and we got so many guests lined up. Very soon, I will be bringing professional from the UK who are in well-established jobs like scientists, doctors, consultants, business persons, who are the lecturers, professors, and there are a lot of people lined up who can tell you about your story, and at the same time, they can share their tips and tricks. How did they came to UK and became, and grab those high profile top jobs in the UK. The person like me, I came as a student as well in 2004, and now I'm a lecturer in one of the reputed university in the UK. And because of that experience, my experience with the students, I have started this podcast. So guys, thank you very much. We are just looking for your love, your affection, and you can do that while taking just 1 second, clicking subscribe and like to this video. Thank you very much. Thank you, Fami.